Alright, let's settle this once and for all. A-levels or IB? Which one is harder? Which one is better? And which one do universities like more? If you're in year 10 or 11 and wondering which one to pick, I've got you covered. And if you're in year 12 or 13, regretting your choices, let's see if you made the right choice. Now first, don't forget to subscribe. And stick around, because I'll reveal the biggest misconception about the IB and the one A-level subject combo which no one tells you about, but should. Let's break it down. A-levels versus IB. I've got everything which you need to know, from the number of subjects you do, to what the assessments are like, and most importantly, how sleep deprived you'll be by the end of year 13. Now, first thing, the subject count. A-levels keep it focused. 3 or 4 subjects is what most people do, whereas in the IB, you're going to do 6 subjects plus CAS, TOC, EE, and lots more. So this has its pros and cons for both choices. A-levels will let you specialise if you know what you want to do in the future, whereas IB will let you keep your options open. If you're unsure, maybe you're torn between 2 different courses. Now for the workload. This is where most IB students cry. The workload hits you every single week, but the depth will vary a lot. Now for your high levels, you do 3. They're going to be pretty similar to A-levels. But for your standard levels, they're going to be a bit in between GCSEs and A-levels. Whichever one you choose, they both develop a lot of skills. IB helps your time management. That is the most important skill which you're going to develop, and it will help you a lot for university. So IB is more about being broad. A-levels about being deep and precise. Now, what do universities like more? Ultimately, it's what you think you'll do better in, because the universities are going to get your predicted grades. So if you think you'll do better with 6 subjects where the points are more spread out, so if you don't do well in one subject, you can make up for it by doing well in another. Or if you think, I'm just going to go all in on these 3 or 4 subjects. I'll explain which types of unis like IB more and which types of unis like A-levels more a bit later in the video, so stick around. So which one's harder? Let's talk about the pain. IB, you're going to be doing 6 subjects with coursework for each. Coursework for your subjects they call IAs, internal assessments. In addition to all this, you're going to be doing TOC, theory of knowledge, which is kind of like philosophy. You're going to be doing CAS, creativity, activity, and service. And you're going to be doing an EE, extended essay. This is a 4,000 word essay. The extended essay is a bit like an EPQ for A-levels. So I've told you all about what you're going to be doing for the IB. And it sounds like a lot, and that's because it is a lot. The IB, you're going to have more to do than A-levels, but not for all A-level subject combinations. There's one in particular which is pretty much on the same level as the IB. Now, if you're an A-level student and you pick maths, further maths, chemistry, and physics, that is one of the few subject combinations which is comparative to the IB. If you pick those subjects, good luck. You're going to have a lot of work ahead. But that will help you to prepare for university. In IB, of course, your subject choices matter just as much. Some subjects are known to be easier than others, and others are known to be one of the hardest. Drop a comment. What's your toughest subject right now? Let's see who's got it the worst. Now for universities. If you're aiming for the top universities, I'm talking about Oxford, Cambridge, Harvard, Stanford, those universities, which one do they like more? Do they like IB? Do they like A-levels? Now, as a general rule, US universities, they like a more holistic, broad curriculum. And so they prefer the IB because it is more rigorous than A-levels. So if you're aiming for Harvard, Stanford, an Ivy League school, they're going to prefer IB. But if you're applying to UK universities, they all respect A-levels and IB. For the UK universities, it's more about what subjects you do, not about which course you pick. So if you're applying for medicine, it doesn't really matter if you did the IB or A levels. What matters more is if you've done the subjects which are best suited. So biology, chemistry, those kinds of subjects. IB can show that you're well-rounded and that you're able to manage your time effectively while staying calm under pressure. But A levels, they'll show that you're actually interested in what you want to do. You're ready to specialise and you're really passionate about those subjects. So let me know in the comments, are you team A level or team IB? If this helped you, smash that like button and subscribe so that you never miss one of my videos. If you don't, I'm going to sign you up for an extended essay. No mercy. Good luck with your studies and remember, you've got this. Thanks for watching.